I'm Carson with the Midwest Minnow Anglers, and today I'm with my dad, and I'm gonna be fishing this spillway for walleye, smallmouth, catfish, carp, and really anything that'll bite. There's a variety of species there. That's all the ones we know confirmed that are there, but come along for the ride. I was out here yesterday, and I caught a little catfish with some worms out here. So we're gonna see if we can do that again. He's just a little guy. My dad also caught two other ones, but we're gonna be out here. We also saw carp jumping just down there in that little area, but we'll see what we can get. We got an entire bucket of large minnows, so we'll see what we can do with them. And also Sam is gonna be showing up later because he didn't know we were coming here. I'm just gonna be casting my minnow right out there. Oh, my bail wasn't open. I'm gonna cast it right out there. I got my bobber at about 5 feet of depth. A minnow will get you everything here but a carp. Oh, I just had one, man. He took my minnow too. Dang. Well, you guys saw that. I think there was probably a catfish, but he just nibbled it. And for my rig of choice, I got a little tiny jig head, nothing crazy. And then a slip bobber up there. And then for the point I hook the minnow on, I hook it right beneath its back fin, kind of by its tail. So it gets, like, it doesn't hit any of their crucial points so they die quickly. And then you still get a lot of flicker from them. Brad, you stole my fish! Well, my dad just caught one. Nice little catfish. Little baby one. And off he goes. Yeah, alright, well, just kidding. I just did a new rig segment. But now, we're changing the new rig to a beefier one like he has.
He's got a double setup, which is a little awkward.
Yeah, I see that. We got our new rig on, got a slip bobber, and with that nice weight down there. Whoa, minnow on the floor. And I'm just gonna set this to about 5 feet deep is where the catfish are for some reason. We got her at about 5 feet deep. Oh my God, that one like pops up so much better than the other one. That's shocking. I pulled the bobber a little bit. I can feel all the stuff like happening on the bottom to it, man. That's crazy. Well, I don't know if I had a fish or not, but he took my thing, my minnow. So we're gonna make the commute back up. That's now 2 minnows that have gotten yoinked to one. The first one was definitely a fish. One was yoinked to a fish, and then my dad caught a fish, suspicious, and then the other one was to unknown causes. Alright, well, rig me up a new minnow. Alright, turns out they don't have a back fin, they just have one fin. But the hook point, I'm putting right under that little fin right there. The spot we saw the carp jumping was like right there. So if I see a carp tail right there, I'm coming for them carp. But we'll just toss her out right where we've been tossing it. My dad's got his bobber right there. I got mine right here. This is peaceful. Oh, my dad's moving his up. That's mine right there. Mine's the one closer to me. Oh God, my bobber is not liking this. Whew. I'm glad I got a heavier bobber because it's definitely handling better. Is that a fish? No, it is not. It keeps getting thumped, which makes me wonder if it's like a little tiny fish nibbling on it, or like just the bottom. Because I don't feel like right there it's that shallow, but maybe. I think I might have a fish on. Maybe. I think that was just a snag. Dang, man. We got a kitty purring. You can't hear it because the dam is very loud, but he's grunting. You can see his mouth moving. Rawr, rawr. Alright, you can toss him back. Speaking of doing the right thing, I'm gonna do the right thing for me, and I'm gonna catch me a fish. Right in his spot. Hold on. I gotta hitchhike down here. I don't think that's the right word at all for it. But you might not be able to hear me very well because there's kind of a dam right there, but I won't record much unless I catch a fish. See you when something happens. I just got my bobber right next to that log, just waiting for a hit. My dad's got his a little bit out there, right in the drink. I got mine right next to this log. I'm just gonna cast it around this log, and if that doesn't work, I'll go back over there. I just got hit. My bobber's the one on the left. Oh, I swear I just got hit again. Rat! He stole my minnow! Oh my, can you even classify this as a minnow? Look at how big that thing is. Hold up, let's measure this thing. Ain't nobody measuring centimeters. Hold up. 0? No. Gotta get you leveled out. This thing's almost 3. This thing's 3 inches. That's a 3-inch. That's not even a minnow. You can't even call that a minnow. Alright, we got the hefty minnow on. Stealing my dad's spot didn't seem to work. So we'll go back to being original. Like, yuck. Ugh. Alright. Throwing it right there. Alright. Let that sit. Alright, I'm gonna see if casting it farther out helps my situation. This is how it started last time. My dad caught 2, I caught 1 after that, and then we didn't catch anything else because we had to leave. But hey, that means it's my turn. I'm up. Yo, I'm feeling nibbles. Ooh! Oh snap! It's a snag, silly goose. Did you really get fooled by that? Alright, I'm gonna go get this out. I think I'm snagged on I'm snagged on someone else's line. Alright, now I'm just snagged on one person's line. Now I'm not snagged on anybody's line. I think there's like a cluster of line just stuck down there. You know it, we're throwing it right back out to that middle part. I'm not that stupid. I'm gonna make my thing less high so I don't get snagged in that again. I'm gonna change the depth of my bobber. Alright. We made it a little bit less now. Cast it out right there. That's what'll get me one right there. I just got hit. My bobber just went like under. Am I being snatched? No, I'm not. Alright. Man, like right there. Like right a little bit closer than that, I got like snatched. So I'm just gonna throw it right there. Alright, we'll see what happens with that. We're on! Serious this time. Nice! Catfish! Let's go! My dad gave me a thumbs up. That's how you know it's good. Bang, baby! On the jig head and the 3-inch minnow. Let's go. I told you I was up. Oh. I'll get him out here. I don't want to get spined by him. So if you grab right his belly, these are both spine you. And get that hook out by pushing down. Or you can push right here. I don't give you much leverage. I'll let you do that, Dad. Well, I accidentally dropped him a couple inches, and then he fell on the rocks and rolled around a little bit. He's not injured though. He's not injured. But we'll get this guy back. Off he goes. Nice, I caught him right like out in that little area. So I'm gonna cast a little bit up here, and we'll try and get me another one. Alright, we casted it back up in that little spot. I'm just pulling on it every little bit occasionally to make sure we don't got a fish on there that I can't see from the bobber. It turns out my dad's fishing that little jig now, so I can cast up this little spot. I can catfish uncontested. I might have just gotten nibbled right there. I had the my bobber just right there, and then it just dived down. But I didn't feel any like tug when I pulled up. I'm just gonna set it here and feel it. Fish on! Right there at the shore. Another little catfish. Bang! Catfish! Yelling that up to my dad. Bang, baby! Right on the log. Well, kind of. Alright. Let's throw this little guy back up here. Round two. Got this little guy here. Take a picture.
Gotcha.
Nice. We'll send him back to live another day. I love lipping catfish. I don't know why. It's just fun. Yeah. Live another day and live a happy life. Right on that log, they seem to be chilling. Me and my dad are tied for catfish now. He ain't catfishing no more though. He's fishing for the other fishes down. So if he hooks on a nice walleye, then I don't know, that might be better than my small catfish. Another freaking tank of a minnow. I think I found the ideal location for standing. You just gotta stand right here. You get access to that little spot, and like this area is basically also just where they're chilling. I caught that guy literally like right there, a couple feet off the bank. It's crazy. I'm just gonna wing it right there, so I'm pretty out of my dad's way. That's also a little further out than that catfish bit. I'm still shocked that he bit so far in. My dad's going back up to the truck, which means I get access to this little area. I'm throwing it about 4 feet of depth, so I don't have to worry about like snags and that thing. And catfish are still hitting it, which is surprising. I'm trying to look for a big mama here, because there's got to be a big mama that had all those little baby catfish. Yo, Sam just pulled up. What do you got to say?
I'm excited to catch a catfish.
Yeah, I showed him my other 2 catfish.
Yeah.
He was happy. We're getting his rod set up right now. Alright, Sam's got his setup out. Well, now he doesn't, but he's gonna cast right up in there. I'm gonna cast by, like, in this little section where I caught my other 2. He had a take right there, I think. Reel that up a little bit, Sam. That's a little too far out. They're surprisingly close for catfish. My dad caught one. Just a little baby. Oh my God, is that on a lipless crank? Lipless crank? Lipless crankbait? He caught it on a lipless crankbait. That's crazy. We're fishing with live minnows. Well, half alive minnows. And he caught one on a lipless crankbait. That's infuriating. His was small though. We can get one bigger. Casting out right there. Sam's got his over there. Sam, you might want to have it more like that middle area. You're gonna have to recast a lot. But just try and keep it around that middle area. Alright, on I got a minnow and a worm, and Sam just moved out of his spot, and you already know how I feel about being original. That's a terrible view. So let's get, he's coming back down. Alright, we don't got much longer in his spot. I don't know how much there is in his spot, so I might swap spots with him. Give him the good spot. Which is my spot, of course. Alright, he's back down. Tossing that out. Right there, wherever it is. Going. Ooh. Oh, that's a nice one. Cool. Nah. Oh, it's a smallie. Yes, smallmouth. Yes. I thought that was a catfish, and I was like, "Ooh, this is the hardest fighting catfish of the day." Oh, nice. No, I don't need a pic. Well, not yet. And I probably want it to be on my phone because my phone's got better resolution. No offense to your phone. Nice. Take your This is your chance. It's casting my spot. Alright, hold up. I got a pic with my phone. I'll give you my phone real quick. Alright, I gave Sam the producing spot. So he's just throwing that right in front of the log. Make sure you keep a little bit of slack. Throwing that right in front of the log. I'm gonna be out here. Well, my dad up there, he had a drum right there, like that little part. Just lost him. I saw the bend in his rod. Yeah, he is throwing a BFS rod, but man. Well, I caught something I didn't want to catch. I caught my dad. Bobber fishing in the river is so weird, man. See that? My lure's just, or my bobber's just getting yoinked when I pull up. Absolutely nothing. Like, man. Just throw in front of that log again. This log's getting a lot of attention. And it just drifts down to the rocks. Down to the rocks. Hey, don't go in there. Stop going in there. Alright. I'm just gonna cast it back to the log. Fish on. I think it's a smallie. Oh, God. Big smallie. Smallie! Ah, nice one. Bang, baby. That's how we get it done. Woohoo! Nice. I'm gonna get... Ooh, I barely hooked him. Kinda. I hooked him in like 2 spots. Stop flopping. This is a nice one, yo. He's fat. Alright, hold up. You get to go right there. I'm gonna unhook you. Maybe. Well, this is a terrible angle, sorry. Alright, I'll record again when I get the hook out of his mouth. Alright, hook's out of his mouth. Nice smallie. I'm gonna get a little pic with my phone. I think that's a solid like 2-pounder right there. That's a nice fish. Hold up, I'm gonna get him against these rocks. These beautiful, ow! I forgot the rocks. Can't kneel on them very well. Bang, baby. Smallmouth. Alright. We'll chuck him back now. Boom. Nice little smallie. Alright. The GoPro's about to run out of battery, so I'm gonna go swap the batteries, but I got that guy with a long worm on there. I'm gonna go swap out the battery real quick. I'm just gonna run my bait. Ugh. Wow. There's little sprinkles of dam water that keep getting in my mouth. I'm just gonna run this bobber right in front of that log. Fun little side note. Found a little heron drinking. Well, he's not drinking. What am I talking about? He's eating the fish. I've caught more fish than you today, heron. At least I think. More than I've seen you catch. So apparently, not only the species we know are in here are smallmouth. There's probably some largemouth in here. Channel cats. Well, we haven't caught any largemouth, so I don't think there's many of them. But there's probably a few here and there. So smallies, walleye, because we caught those before here. Channel cats, and then common carp and freshwater drum now. We've seen the common carp the day before, and we also seen someone catch one here while we were here. But the freshwater drum, I think, is a new one. So yeah. I just got my bobber chilling right here. Oh, got him. You really thought I already did this to you once. Alright, I'm gonna go over there and get this out. Dude, I almost just fell in. I slipped. I was stepping right. Oh my god, Sam just caught one! Smallie! Well, I was stepping right there, so I'm not gonna do that again. I like tripped on that and almost slipped in. Both of my feet were over it, but man, what ironic timing. Nice smallie, Sam. I'd say it's like 1.5 pounds. I'd say it's 1.2 to 1.5. Nice one. Double up, catfish, smallie. I'll get you with a picture. Bruh. It's making me log in. Alright. Alright. One there. Boom. Boom. And release bid on the GoPro. Off he goes to live another day. There's my dad with his catfish too. Snap. I was just trying to be sad and tell y'all about how I almost fell in. Dude, my leg still hurts kind of bad. Where do you catch that one?
I told you that's the trap.
Shoot, maybe that is the trap. Sam with the smallie. Nice. Maybe that herring was onto something. Apparently there are fish over there. He just doesn't know how to get them. My dad's on a really nice one. Look at that rod bend. Oh, it's a nice catfish. Walleye, walleye. Net. Sam, net.
My net or your net?
Any net. Your net's faster. Hold up. I'm going down to get it. I'll get it by the gill plate. That's a 10! Yes! That's a solid 3 or 4 pounder. Do you have a scale with you?
I do have a scale. Should I go grab my scale?
Yeah. Bang!
I told you.
Bang! Walleye! I was assuming 2 to 3 pounds. I also got you a pig.
Alright.
Nice. Get you a pig. We eating that sucker, baby. He's 3.5 pounds. Scale certified. Woo! Uh-oh, there goes the receipt. Woo, that thing is a tank. Was that on your blade bait?
No.
What was that on? Lipless crank? Oh, well,
A minnow without a bottle.
was it just on the bottom?
Whoa.
Snap. Well, that made the whole trip worth it.
Of course, are you hyped?
I'm hyped. He caught it on a minnow, so we got minnows. We got worms, which supposedly walleye like. Man, now we've crossed out 3 out of the 5. Well, I mean, 4 if you count that my dad hooked onto them. That's like 3, technically 4 out of the 5 species we know are here. And carp we're not going for today because we're having all this luck with the other species. Man! Woo! Every fish after that's gonna be like the little bonus. Unless we get another walleye, of course. That could very well happen. You know what? You know what? Dad, was that like right there on the bottom? There on the bottom or there? Right there. Snap! It was right there. It wasn't even in the white fuzz. Just on the bottom. Well, that's gonna make me deep in my stuff. Actually, I'm just gonna go up to here. I think the people on the other side of the dam caught fish too. So everyone has caught a fish except for that pelican. I don't think you can see it very well on camera, but he's like huddled down. He looks sad.
He's just hunched down in the corner.
He's so sad. Sorry, pelican. You'll get one soon. My dad just caught another little catfish, man. My dad's slaying them today. He caught the walleye like right there, just on the bottom. So I have my bobber set up. Indeed. I got my bobber just set up right there. And we're just gonna let it sit on the bottom until I get some action. Because then we can also get the catfish. Smallies, I'm assuming aren't gonna be sitting like on the bottom. But that walleye clearly was, so maybe. Alright, I'm not even gonna try and trick you guys this time, but yeah, I'm snagged again. Man, this spot isn't even very snaggy. I don't know, I was probably asking for it because I'm fishing basically on the bottom. I'm gonna go to that side, get this snag out. Alright, I've switched to my dad's strategy. Uh-oh. Someone's got a big fishy. Anyways, I switched to my dad's strategy, which is basically just a Carolina rig. You got that little weight there, and all the way down here, you got a minnow. So I'm just throwing this out here and just popping across the bottom. Alright, you won't be able to hear much because the dam is right there. Wow, I'm getting water in my eyes. But I got the same rig on just with a worm because we only got 1 minnow left. Yesterday we got 2 scoops and like we had a ton left over. So this time we just had 1 scoop and now we're slaying them. It just happens, man. Anyways, I'm gonna be casting out along, probably just in the white foam. Alright, we had to leave the dam because Sam got a hook in his finger past the barb, and he was a total champ through the whole thing. I just didn't want to shove a camera in his face because that's awkward. And just makes the whole thing more chaotic. But he's at his house. He's probably going to urgent care about now. They're gonna straighten the hook, I think Sam's mom said. They're gonna try and straighten the hook and yoink it out, and if that doesn't work, they'll make it work. But he's doing as fine as a guy with a hook in his hand can do. He was being a champ through it, so he's alright though. But that is unfortunately where this video ends. I'll post an update when I post the video. Alright, I'm sitting here editing this video, and Sam just sent me this picture of the hook point out of his fingers. You can see that little dot of where it was. He said he's alright now. But yeah. Wow, that was a crazy day of fishing. I mean, we just had smallmouth, pretty decent smallmouth, nice catfish. No, they were not nice. They were very small. But a catfish is a catfish, and I'm not complaining. They were nice looking. Nice walleye, which was a pleasant surprise because we don't get much of those around here. And then also, we had that drum pop off. We actually had 2. Well, it was my dad, but you know. That wasn't as much as fun because Whatever. Drummer's still cool. Anyways, that was a crazy day. Sam, I'm glad his finger's doing good. We're lucky to have his finger be alright. And, yeah, just a crazy day of fishing. I'm Carson with the Midwest Minnow Anglers, signing out. Peace.